Hello, beautiful community. Welcome to my unconventional live Q&A. Normally, these are at 4 p.m. PST. But last week, I went live, I think nearly 3 times, but we've had shocking Wi-Fi and reception here in Malibu. And so now I'm bringing this to you live with my husband. He's going to chime in as well. So I'll wait till a few of you join me, but hey, Holly, this is a topic that we get so many emails about. Hey, darling, quiet with the dishes, please. Come and join us, sweetheart. Hey, Christine, how are you, beautiful? Come and join us. My husband teaches actually in some of my other programs. Hey, Alana, how are you, beautiful? And he's actually just started teaching in this program I've launched called The Orgasmic Woman, and they couldn't get enough of him. I'm like, ooh, love it. Hey, gorgeous Pip. So I'm going to get started and pack this. Hey, Erin, how are you, gorge? With value bombs for you. And the question we had from beautiful Tania in this community basically said, I am so exhausted with dating. She said, I've built so many walls around myself that I've lost count, and I really resent the entire dating process. Like, I resent where I am in my life. Her whole thing is, how the hell did I get here? And she feels like she's backed herself into a corner. Can any of you relate to that? I want you to really listen to this conversation with your heart open. So let's just together come into this present moment. As you can see, like, I haven't exactly dressed up for you. I've been busy all day with my daughter, so you're getting me raw and real. Let's just come into this present moment. Let's just take a really big breath. Put your left hand on your beautiful heart space. And I can't with my hand, but put your right hand on your belly, on your womb space. And I want you to be able to receive this conversation deep at a cellular level, because there's a lot of gold for you here today. So let's just take a breath in. 1, 2, 3, big breath in through your heart space. And release. That felt really good for me. I hope that felt good for you. Hey, Julia. Hey, gorgeous Karina. And here's my hunk of spunk husband.
Hey, hi, everyone.
So we're going to just dive straight in. Should we get a bit closer? That's a bit weird if we're doing social distancing in our living room. Come here, we'll bring a Bella in the monitor. So come in, we're drinking our wine, which is pomegranate juice and seltzer. That's like our wine. We're such dags. Anyway, so we got our wines. Got my wine. Let's just dive straight in. Anaam and I were having a really juicy conversation about this. And we want to keep it quite specific to really speak to the identity that many of you are living inside of as someone that has all of these walls up. Now, before I met Anaam, he definitely has told me in conversations, like, he had his walls up, and I for sure had more walls than the wall of China. Okay, so I don't want you ever looking at me like, oh my God, like, she's just lucky. And no. I'm not lucky. I got really fucking sick of getting in my own way and having all this armor around my heart, because I was more committed to keeping myself safe and out of love, because I had this whole checklist of stories as to why love was not safe for me. It wasn't designed for me, and this went right back to my childhood with losing my dad at a young age. Now, you don't have to have lost a parent to have built up walls, okay? I want to be really clear about that. You could have 2 fantastic parents right now, yet your little girl within did not ever feel emotionally seen, held, and supported in the way that she needed, right? She didn't feel special. She didn't feel like a priority. And so what's happened is, it'll be varying ages for each of you watching this live. So don't get up in your head about this. But the good news about this that I want you to hear is that you've basically been living inside of a story that isn't serving you, because deep down you don't believe that soulmate love can actually happen for you. You've got it kind of like over there, like other people can have that. And what's part of this identity of someone that's got all of this love armor, as we call it, all of these bodyguards around your heart, keeping on alert, high alert, high alert. I don't want anyone to hurt me. I don't want anyone to let me down. So many of you are very conscious. You're like, oh yeah, I've got my walls up. Mm-hmm. And yet you're using it as a hiding place because you think, well, I'm aware, like I know I've got these walls, and you're sort of resting on your laurels. And it is literally killing off your dream right now, is costing you time, precious, precious time. So
Yeah, and as a man in the dating world, back before Lucy, of course, a lot of women that I met would actually wear it like their badge of honor. They would be like measuring me and measuring other men up to let's see, look, I know he's gonna fail. Let's wait until he does. So there are so that's basically a love armor where you're going, I know what's happened in the past, but I want to continue living in the past. And there's a very important lesson and an awareness to bring attention to, because when you wear it like a badge of honor, it gets in the way and it becomes a wall. It does. And it prevents people from penetrating. And so...
Ooh, penetrating. And that's in like both senses of the word, like legitimately penetrating you, like from a really beautiful pleasure, space, but literally penetrating through the bodyguards.
Yeah.
And reaching your heart.
Yeah. So, we're talking about checklists. We're talking about how men show up for you so that they can get access to a part of you, a portion of you, not you fully as a fully expressed, open-hearted person, but a small part of you that you have said, you know what, I'm only going to show this, or I'm only going to show a different version of me because I'm not sure if this guy is right. And so what happens is you're already showing up as an inauthentic.
You're showing up
inauthentic person,
expecting it to fail.
Yes.
And so
can you see how it's not going to work, and it hasn't worked? And so when you create your profile on all these different apps, and you're creating, first of all, you have layers of protection on personally at a physical, emotional, energetic level, and then you're creating a profile on your app based on an idea or a concept of what you're looking for and who you are. And the reason I'm saying it in this way, that it's a concept, it's an idea, Lucy can speak more into that right now. It's very important for you to understand that there is a part of you that you show to your family. There's a part of you that you expose to your friends. There's a part of you that you expose to other people at work, for example. And so these are different faces that you show. And then on the dating apps, and when you go out dating, you're showing a different part of you. Potentially you say it's the best part of you, but it's not necessarily the best part of you, because from the work that we do, we know that the best part of you is the vulnerable, exposed, beautiful, fully expressed you.
The unapologetic as fuck version of you, right? That could practically go out on a date like this. Like, I don't recommend that. I've got greasy hair and I've got baby spew on my shoulder. So obviously you would make more effort than this. But I'm able to come here and be real with my bra hanging out because I'm all about the message with you right now, not about presenting myself as perfect and wearing the perfect outfit. This is about having a candid conversation. And let me go a bit deeper into what I've seen with what this is costing those of you that are aware that you've got these walls up. I've got a beautiful woman that reached out to me and she was like, Lucy, I'm heartbroken. I am 42. I was with this guy that I thought I was going to marry. I thought I was going to have babies with, and he left me when we were trying for a baby, like flat out left. And so she's gone on to have other relationships, but of course, none of them could work because she had not dealt with or healed that really hurt part of her that thought her life was going down this trajectory and then suddenly it wasn't. And so when we don't deal with the past hurts and then we just gloss over them and think, well, I'll just meet someone else, you are going to constantly be let down, and it's going to cost you time and it's going to cost you your dream. And for those of you that want to have a baby, it will cost you being a mum. Because she's literally saying to me, you know, I'm 2 seconds away from giving up on my absolute dream of being a mother. And it literally makes me want to start crying that this is where this beautiful woman has ended up, because I know she represents so many women in the world that you're putting your self-worth outside of you. You're going into that victimhood cycle, blaming this guy that didn't show up for you. Like, it's this guy. She's blaming him. I'm like, sweetheart, that's powerless. It's you putting the blame outside of you. You're not taking responsibility. You're not stepping up and doing the deep healing work to fucking clear that shit out of your vortex and then go and claim your dream, right?
Yeah.
So when she said to me, I'm going to give up, on being a mom, I was like, don't you fucking dare. What the fuck? I go, no, this is bullshit. I go, you got to hear yourself right now. If this is your dream, then stop going over and over and over what didn't happen for you and putting this fucking guy on a pedestal. Okay, so it didn't work out the way we wanted to. So do a lot of things in our life. But it's about your mindset to go, well, what if I'm being redirected and he wasn't meant to be the father of my children? Or if you are in this group and you have been, with a man and you've had children with that man, great. So you're not meant to be together, but you have two beautiful or one beautiful or however many beautiful kids together. But don't put all of your self-worth over with this guy or this failed relationship. Don't even put the word failed in front of it. Go, I had a relationship and it didn't go in the direction I thought it would. Let me grab a hold of all the friggin' lessons. And many of you that are very well aware that you have these walls up, you are getting around with your masculine energy, which looks like the tick box, the checklist. And what you're doing is you're putting these ridiculous expectations on how this guy needs to show up. And it's almost like, let me just see if I'm doing this deliberately, like this energy of let me just see if this guy actually can, boom, 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 whatever your criteria is. And don't tell him. And you don't expect him to show up for you. You're looking for it to fail. You're looking for him to let you down. And so you are literally on the wrong planet as a metaphor when it comes to love. You're hanging out on Mars up there, drinking the Kool-Aid, which is like drinking sewage, when you need to be down here on Earth with a rock star mindset, with a rock star belief system. And you've got to be asking yourself the question, what are you doing? What am I doing right now to get me out of this shit stabbing cycle and onto the dream highway where I, God damn it, I'm going to put a stake in the ground and be the woman that I was born to be and have that dream and be that mother, if you choose to be a mother, or be in this soul and heart connected relationship where I know this guy treasures me and cherishes me and he's there for the good and the bad. Because relationships are not about roses on Valentine's Day. Right? I used to honestly get caught up in all of that stuff when I was much younger. It was very superficial. Relationships are about having that beautiful soul. Anaam brings me tea in bed every single day. And that's like romance for me. I'm like, I get my tea in bed for my beautiful husband, hugs for my daughter. And like, that's the lottery, right? It's not about the stuff. It's about the moments together and showing up for each other. And every single one of you watching this live, read my lips. You are watching this live because you're fucking so done with being in your own way. And you are wanting to have this relationship that strikes you in your core, in your ovaries, where you're like, this feels amazing. I do not have to question this. I do not have to overthink or analyze or break this down. But guess what? The ticket, the golden ticket, like Willy Wonka, for you to be able to attract your soulmate is not going to happen from the masculine where you got to see it to believe it and like go through, is this guy, has he got a good relationship with his parents? Is he gone to university? Has he got a fucking black Amex? Whatever the shit you have been thinking you're doing good by having this list. Can that list?
I think I need to get a black Amex because she uses it as an example all the time.
Okay, sweetie. But can that list? It's a fucking hiding place. What I teach women in this program of Soul to Soul is, first of all, it's a homecoming for you to be able to amplify who you are, your essence, what is so magical about you, the connection to your heart. embodying your self-worth, where you don't have to say to anyone I'm worthy, because they feel that from you. You don't have to say anything. They're like, whoa, I want to be around this person. It's you beaming your light from the inside out. But those of you with all these bodyguards up have this energy, and it's got hostility in it. It's got rigidity in it. It's got no trust in it. And it's a repellent. You may as well be walking around with the worst musky fragrance. You may as well be, because this is what men are feeling from you. And I'll let Anaam speak. But Stevie, darling, can you stop digging, sweetheart? Stevie Nicks. I love it. She's digging for gold. So what my women, like, their jaws drop when they come into this program, because I'm like, sister, you've got to learn how to believe it to see it, not see it to believe it. It's a huge paradigm shift. This is about living from your heart and doing the work and whatever it's going to take to break down wall by wall by wall, not in 24 hours, in a process where you are held and supported in a way that you've never felt before, where it feels safe in this container with other women that are there playing a big game, playing full out, that want to have their best life. This is where change is created, not by you listening to a podcast and dabbling with this 30 plus years of conditioning with every wall you've put up, every year. You've got to get real about how much you've backed yourself into a corner with these walls and go, I can't keep doing the fucking same thing and expecting a different result. And you've also got to get that you are responsible. You are the creator of your life. So if you don't like where you're standing right now, divine woman, then don't fucking sit there drinking the Kool-Aid up on Mars going, this sucks. What are you doing about it? What are you putting into action? You got to get the fuck out of your comfort zone and reach for the high-hanging fruit and go, I want more. I'm sick of tolerating this bullshit. I'm sick of swimming in the same scarcity of non-deservability, right? And just go, fuck that. And put a big fat stake in the ground in 2020 for the few months we have left and go, my life changes right now. And you got to make a decision that you are going to change this now. Because the future is in your hands. Your future is unwritten and it gets to be written by you. Isn't that fucking cool? No one is doing anything to you. You can blame your exes. You can blame your dad who was an alcoholic or your mum who was depressed. You can blame everyone till the cows come home. Right? But that's going to keep you small. The only reason I'm married to this hunk of spunk with my beautiful daughter upstairs, this divine dog, and this life that I've created that is on purpose was because I got done with my bullshit, with my excuses, with my scarcity, and with getting in my own way and sabotaging like it was going out of fashion. I was a people pleaser. I was a professional, fucking had a master's in sabotaging. I had a fucking PhD in pushing men away and getting in my own way, right? So my life changed when I got done with my BS. And that's what I want you to hear from this. Those walls can be gone yesterday, but it starts with the decision to go, how much longer are you going to put yourself last? Right? How much longer are you going to hide behind these walls and go, oh, well, love sucks. And you don't believe that you can have it. So you're comfortable with these walls. It's where you hide out. It's where you basically justify to friends, oh, well, it's COVID, or, oh, well, I've had all these guys let me down. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Who are you fooling? You're the one going to sleep at night or not, because you're kept awake with this cycle of, am I going to die alone? Or is that depression going to come back? Is this really my life? Many of you are so numb that you can't actually access this part of you that is just crying out to experience this love, right? It's the highest currency we've got access to. Wanted to...
Yeah. Why did she use the example of dad and alcoholism? It's fake alcohol anyway.
It's pomegranate juice.
I just wanted to add to that. I mean, the best place to continue this conversation is with what Lucy said. How much fear do you feel when you actually think about letting true love in, like the real hardcore love, like love that's gonna,
Rock your world.
make your knees weak? really feel into that, because a lot of you have forgotten about it, forgotten that it's possible. And so allow yourself, after this, after you finish watching this, allow yourself to feel that and go, what if I really let love in? How many blocks do I have? Like, what's in the way? Can I actually step out of it? Can I actually do something about it and get real? Face it, face it, face it.
Well, the answer is yeah, you can do something about it.
Yeah, but that's the process of us. The first step of actually feeling and understanding and being aware of where you are right now. Without knowing where you are right now, you cannot change the trajectory. It's kind of like, you started digging a hole when you were 5 years old, and then you kept digging and you kept digging, and now you're 30 plus years old. Imagine how big that hole is. And if you don't do anything about it this year, and then 2021 comes around, and then 22 and 23, and you keep digging, because that's how life works. That's how the law of attraction works. It keeps compounding, it adds on. And the way we are as humans, with the way our brains work and everything, we get stuck in that pattern. So you have to actually think about how deep of a hole you're in for you to actually then jump out of that. You have to climb up all of that to get out. And so what that requires is you having courage, knowing where you are, first of all, how deep you are,
And what it's costing you.
what it's costing you, right? Having the courage to face it, and then making a decision that's completely like light years different from how you've been operating, which is the masculine, which is the list, which is let me see him prove me right that this guy's gonna ghost me, or this guy's gonna treat me like shit.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that, because that's so great. It's about getting support. It's about, right now you're digging a grave for your dreams.
Yes.
You are literally
And it's a deep grave.
digging the grave. And the reason that you have so much love armor is because underneath this complete bravado, acting like you've got it all together and it's not that bad, and you know what, I've got a plan B anyway, this kind of energy, where we get women on the calls that are like, well, it's not that bad. And it's all just cover. It's all a coping mechanism. And then when we press on certain points, next thing, these women are brought to their knees, because they're just like, I have been holding it together for so long that I didn't give myself the space to let myself feel how bad this really is. Mm-hmm. I just am hoping that one day, somehow, miraculously, it's just going to sort itself out. But when you get honest, you've been saying this for many, many years, just like I did. I kept saying, I'm so close, I'm so close, I'm so close. This is going to be the year. And then when I clocked that I've been doing that for a decade, I was like, holy fuck. And I was angry. I was angry that I did that to myself. But luckily, I made a decision to change that. I just want to finish. But the love armor you have up is because underneath is this fear of deep abandonment that you've already experienced in your life. This fear of loss, that, what if I have it, but then it gets taken away from me? Either they leave you or they die. And you're like, I don't want to experience this heartbreak again that you experienced as a little girl. And again, it might not be because you lost someone from death, but just that you had parents at home, but they just were not present for you. To your little girl inside, that was like a death for her. Having them around, but not actually being present for her. And the walls started at a very, very young age. Maybe some of you have had physical abuse, mental abuse. And so the idea of love is just like, love isn't safe. Maybe you had to watch your parents through endless fights. So your little girl is collecting all this data and going, fuck no. And she's building wall after wall after wall, going, I'll do anything but that. Like, love is not safe for me. Love is hard. Love is messy. It's dangerous. And so this is why you've built up, these beautiful walls to protect yourself. So I want you to hear, like, it makes sense. That's what we do as humans, right? That's exactly the reflex that I would expect. However, the whole point of me doing this live is to say, if I can get myself out of that hole that I dug with the trauma that I'd gone through, the abandonment that I'd gone through, not feeling understood, feeling like I was too spiritual or too big a personality. If I can overcome that, and step up in my life and create this beautiful, beautiful life, right? That every day I look in the mirror, I'm like, am I living on purpose? Yes. That is success. It's not the money in your bank account that's successful. It's not the car that you're driving. They're beautiful. They're nice to have. It's abundant. Success is, am I walking my truth? Am I feeling alive? Am I connected to my feelings? Am I letting in this beautiful love and experiencing intimacy and feeling seen and understood and appreciated and significant? That's success. Mm-hmm. We're sitting here in our daggiest of clothes, but I'm sitting here going, there's nowhere else I want to be right now. And I know many of you aren't feeling that, and that's okay. It's time to cough up the furball and go, fuck this. Not going into a hole around this, but just going, you know what? This is the day that I'm going to say it stops here.
This t-shirt is number 10 on my daggy list. I still have, it's not the daggiest.
Okay. That wasn't really a value add, but your walls are your prison cell. Yes. You have put yourself in jail. You've built these walls, wall after wall after wall. And this is not the end of the road.
Yeah.
But you will end up, I will say this because I love you, you will end up being right about love and that it doesn't work out for you and that, well, see, I did end up alone. If you don't get serious about the fact that you are perpetuating that story of lack and of missing out and of this victimhood, will love never happens for me. You are buying into that story. And one of my most favorite things that I see with my beautiful clients that are so fucking courageous and inspire me and teach me so much is they're just like, oh my God, like what the fuck was I doing in therapy? Like sitting here talking about all this stuff when I wasn't dealing with my shit. They're like, I can change this really, really quickly. And they feel so liberated and so excited because they get to see that I am not someone that is like, they get to break up with this identity that they were living in. They're like, yeah, I might have been abused, but I'm not that. Does that make sense? They go, oh, these things happen to me, but they don't define who I am. I define who I am. You define who you are. And when you get the right support system and a proven process and sisterhood, you will dramatically change your life in literally 90 days. Like that's my program. You will change, you will start seeing results in the moment you make that decision to say, I deserve this creme de la creme support. And I want my dream more than my fear.
Yeah.
I want my dream more than my fucking walls, because 2021 is not going to look any different if you don't actually get real and present to this conversation.
Yeah. And the value add for me is, do you really want to just hope that love is going to happen and the right guy is going to come and, meet you and you're going to fall in love and get married? Here's the thing. You don't want to be attracting in somebody from the place that you're in right now.
Yeah.
If you really deeply look at your state of affairs and then understand that we attract who we are, like really, whether you believe that or not,
it's a fact.
You can do your research and it's basically quantum physics. It's science. It's actually the truth is that we attract who we are. So would you actually be happy to attract a guy who is, and please allow me to use this shitty word, it's called broken. Would you like to attract a guy who's broken into your world and bring him into your world? Because two halves do not make a complete.
No, they do. Two halves do make a whole, but that's going to be codependent.
Yes.
You want to be whole. You are the 5-layer decadent, beautiful cake, and this other person, this soulmate, is your cherry. And the person you'll attract in when you do the work is someone who's they've gone and gotten excited about creating their own 5-layer cake, and you are their cherry. And so each of you are showing up full, because Anaam is absolutely spot on. And this was happening for me, like man after man after man after man. And I was blaming Sydney, where I was living. I was like, well, it's not me. You know, it's just, it's tougher when you're in your 30s, and it's definitely, you know, Sydney. And I was blaming everything outside of me. And when someone said to me one day, you know, Lucy, you attract who you are, I nearly fell off my chair. Because in that moment, when I looked at my beautiful, shiny vision board, and I'd watched The Secret, you know, too many times, and I just stopped from all this automatic, like writing these affirmations and all this automatic, you know, stuff that I was doing, thinking I was doing all the right things. When I stopped in that moment, I went, I'm waiting to be rescued. I wouldn't fucking date me right now. I am not loving myself. I have zero boundaries. I'm getting annihilated every weekend drinking too much, completely numb as fuck. And I went, what the fuck am I doing sitting here thinking that a vision board is going to change my life when I am so deeply out of alignment and out of my truth? I was lazy as fuck, just dabbling, thinking that writing a couple of affirmations was meant to heal my 30 years of conditioning. And I was like, whoa, because I blindsided myself. I really did. Like, I really thought, you know, I'm doing all these things and it's not me. How wrong I was. Every night, you know, when I was going out on dates, reaching for this gorgeous, glamorous new pair of earrings and making sure I looked $1,000,000 and putting all my energy into the dress and my hair instead of my fucking heart and soul. I was like, oh my God. I didn't trust love. I didn't trust myself. I left Lucy at the door and took some fucking wasted woman with jazz hands on every date and wondered why I didn't get to the third or fourth date, because I didn't know how to be me. And you don't know how to be you.
That's right. Amen,
Let's just pause with that. You don't know how to be you because you abandoned yourself a long time ago when you felt abandoned. And the woman you've been looking for your entire life is you. It's not the fucking guy that you need to complete you. It's you. And that is the work that I teach, is how to be your own soulmate, how to heal yourself deeply from within so you are overflowing with you. And this is why women are changing their lives, knowing this is so much more than attracting in your soulmate. This is about you getting into alignment with the woman you were born to be. And that's where you're going to be magnetic, not just attracting in your man or your woman. You're going to be attracting in opportunities left and right. Huge, huge, huge side effects of doing this work on yourself. You know, with our women, they're like, I just got a pay rise. I just got this money out of the blue. I'm like, yes, sister.
Someone just became a vice president in a company just a few days ago.
Yep. We had a woman who came to me a year ago and she said, a year from now, I want to be vice president of my company. That was just one of her things. She was like, yeah, you know, she didn't really expect it. She's vice president of her company. She's like, oh, it's no biggie, because she's in this total energy of receiving. And she's like, oh my God, this was like to the day. I'm like, yeah, sister. So I just want you to hear all of the possibilities in this live that exist for you.
Yeah.
That you are born to experience true blue love. That is your birthright, darling. You are not broken. You are not damaged goods. I don't give a fuck what you've been through. And I say that with total love and compassion. It doesn't define you. Hear me when I say that. I'm not saying it wasn't painful. I'm not saying that it, you know, those parts of you aren't going to still require you really, really giving them love. It's an ongoing process, right? But I am saying that you are not your past relationships. You are not bad at relationships. I used to think I was so bad at relationships. I did. I was like, I'm just not good at this. I'm not soulmate material.
They're just excuses for you to eat ice cream.
Okay. Wow. But
They are. They're good excuses.
okay, sweetie. I love that we're having a really deep conversation, and then this guy just like kind of, yeah, he's on his own page. He's on his own. Yeah, it's all right. You know, there are other qualities about him. So we're going to wrap this live.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
You know, post in this, what's this, Facebook Live video.
Yeah.
You know, the two things that we just talked about. The first thing was, if you actually settled into, like, grounded yourself and go, am I ready to receive love right now? And see what, if fear comes up and how much fear comes up, let us know. We'd love to hear from you about that, because it's a good place for you to start. You know, you need to know where you are.
Yes.
The second thing is,
Yeah, letting it get real. Like, you know, we had this, God, so many different experiences when people join Soul to Soul. We had this most beautiful girl from the UK join Soul to Soul. And in the moment she said yes, every single fear, every single bodyguard, every single piece of scarcity came up and it tried to derail her decision, right? This is very common. I was like, of course you're feeling fear. Of course you're wanting to back out. Hello? Yeah. This fear and sabotage and little girl has been blocking you from your greatness for all these years. Of course they're going to show up right now at the edge of your comfort zone. But what also showed up was she's like, I'm so fucking angry because I can feel that I can have this dream on this phone call right now. And I know that I am born for big things. And she's like, I have been playing so fucking small. I've been bullshitting myself that Hope's just going to sort this out. And she's just like, I wish I found this like 10 years ago. And she was angry, like really angry. I'm like, this is positive. This is amazing. Let that anger come up. And then the anger turned into just full-blown waterworks and tears, which is so healing and so beautiful. And her vulnerability in the first few days started showing up. Mm-hmm. And already she's healing, like, you know, 30 years of conditioning in a matter of days, just by that one decision to say, I deserve more. I want this. And this girl had to go and get really fucking resourceful. She had to get out of her comfort zone and she had to go and fight for her dream. She's like, I'm fucking fighting for this. Nothing is going to stop me. And I'm like, sister, with this attitude, you've already changed your life. It's only up from here.
Yeah.
And hey, Neha, we're just wrapping. So
the second, so there were two things that we wanted you to do. The first thing was the fear.
Just dropped the wine on me. Oh man.
Oh, come on.
Hold this. I just dropped the fake wine on me.
Fake.
Just hold that.
I got it.
It's a sign to go.
And yeah, it's a sign. It's fine. It's on the okay. White couches. I told her not to get a white couch. The second thing is let's have some fun. Let's also have you post some of the craziest reasons you came up with as to why the guy might not have been right for you. You know, one of the things that I used to get with when I would go out in the dating scene, in the club scene in New York City back in the day was some women would go, oh, you're gay. And I'm just like, I'm standing here in front of you talking to you and trying to pick you up. I'm not gay. And they were adamant about it. I'm just like, holy shit, girl, can't you see your insecurity is massive? I mean, how are you calling me gay when I'm telling you I'm not gay? So that's one of the craziest things that women have said to me. That is the craziest thing someone has said. And so let's make it fun. So why don't you post here? Let us know what some of the craziest things you might have said to guys, and have fun.
And the last thing that I want to leave you with is that it's not the men that you don't trust. It's you. You've completely lost yourself in these experiences that didn't work out in the way that you wanted to, and you sold out on one of these experiences you had with love, and you basically threw the keys out with that relationship. Right? Even if it was just a short relationship, one where you really were like hoping it was going to work. And you essentially were just in that moment, whether you are aware of this or not, you were like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing this again. I'm not putting myself through this. I refuse to be let down again. And deep down, a huge part of you has given up. And it's just about admitting that and just saying, no, fuck that. Because I repeat, this is not about the men not being trustworthy. It's about you not trusting your instincts, you not trusting yourself to be enough, you not trusting that they're going to stay. And that's because you just don't have your self-worth dialed in, you don't have your belief system dialed in, and you certainly don't have your mindset dialed in. You're not being the woman, that higher self version of you that is going to attract in your man, who is going to keep him, where he's going to be like, where the fuck have you been all my life? You're not being her. You're literally acting out of the little girl, and she's got her hands around the steering wheel of your life, and you're trying to go down the dream highway with the brakes on. And this little girl can't even see over the steering wheel. And every time you get close to someone that might be right, she does a 180. She's like, let me get the fuck out of here. This is too risky. And she goes into high alert. So I just wanted to really point out to you like what is going on, and that by operating out of the masculine and the checklist and making it really hard for men to show up for you because you've been hurt, you are doing this to yourself. It's not the apps. It's not COVID. It's not your age. It's not your weight. It's none of that. It's not the things that you are claiming that make you damaged. It's none of that. It's none of that. It's the relationship that you need to cultivate with yourself that doesn't exist right now. It's about you coming home to yourself and loving yourself and accepting yourself and accepting and loving the body that you're in, whether you've got cellulite, love handles, whatever the fuck, and going, I'm going to do whatever it takes to love on this beautiful human and to be my own soulmate. And when you make that the priority, your entire life is going to change. Okay. And the walls are going to come down and you're going to start to feel this connection to yourself in a way that you haven't felt before. And that is why my women get so excited, because they realize it's not about the man. It's about you turning your light back on, because you've just been cruising around, as a metaphor, New York City with the light off as a taxi cab. So your right man can't get in because your light's not even fucking on. But when you get that light turned on, you're going to be having to fend them off and be like, I'm sorry, no, I can't date all of you. And that's where you get to be selective, because you're like, I know exactly what my hell's yes feels like. And I know what my no feels like. And I trust myself. And I know that I'm born to have this epic, phenomenal soulmate relationship, right? So it's about you building this certainty within yourself. And this does not come from a master's degree or from you being a rock star entrepreneur. That's not going to land you the man. What's going to have you attract in the love of your life is you being so in love with yourself, where you're overflowing. And when this man comes in, he doesn't complete you, you complete you. And then he just adds to that. And that's honestly the truth of when I attracted in Anaam, when I finally got out of this bullshit cycle I'd been in for over a decade. And he knew that, right? You can speak to this, darling. When I met him, I was so full up of all the things I was doing in my life and the relationship I'd cultivated with myself that I didn't need a man. I desired a man. But I had me. I had my back. And I was in alignment. So when he came in, I didn't go into all this acting out like I was doing in my little girl. I was just like, how does this feel? You know, is this my man? And what was that like for you, darling, when you met me?
This is an interesting angle.
Just the short story. Just sit up and be normal. Jesus. This is not an audition, sweetheart, okay? Just be real. 'Cause we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. It was annoying, you know. I could feel her energy. She wasn't at all needy. She didn't have stories. She didn't make things up. She was just being her. And when you are used to, from a man's perspective, there are all these women out there who have the same story, the same stuff, the same bullshit. So you're like, right, same, but different, right?
Same girl, different name.
Yeah, same girl, different name. But then when you have that person who is in touch with them, their essence and their power, suddenly they're no longer same. And you get to go, unique, special. She knows herself. She's confident. She's grounded. Can she have my babies? Yes.
So we'll end it there. But, you know, it
Wait,
was...
I didn't raise my eyebrows. Can she have my babies? Yes.
Oh, boy. Okay, sweetie. Wow. He's just, like, got that real special, you know, a special quality to him. So that's really the live for you beauties that we wanted to come on and share, is that you're either embodying your greatness or you're going to continue to run away from it and play the world's smallest violin and keep living out your victimhood and your scarcity and your not enoughness. And that's not living, that's existing. And you're in my community because something is speaking to your soul, and nothing is going to happen without taking action and leaping out of your comfort zone and believing in the unseen. Like, if you're feeling this conversation, then don't fuck around. Jump on a call with our team and see if you know, we'll let you know if we think you're a fit or not. Don't worry, we don't try and enroll everyone. We're really, really, really vigilant with who we invite in, but you'll get a breakthrough regardless. So this is about you fighting for you and doing whatever it's going to take to step up and not tolerating your own bullshit that's keeping you out of love. Okay? That's really the message. We could obviously
right.
keep talking forever because...
Yeah, there's a place in Australia where people say yay instead of you. Yay.
Okay. Yee.
Yay.
How are ye?
How-
Darling, there's probably some people here that do say that, so could you stop?
I love it. I love it. Unique. It makes you
Oh, yeah.
special. You're unique. Yeah, unique. Unique.
Stop. Okay.
You can make fun of my accent.
Yeah, there's plenty to make fun of with you.
I'm
Don't
cool
worry.
with
We're
that.
not short on things with that. So I'm sending so much love to you. This is obviously a very candid conversation. And we'd love to hear, you know, what resonated with you. If you've got any questions, I'll be sure to answer those. Okay. This will be obviously recorded, so you can come back and watch this as many times as you want. And I love you.
and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear it.
I just said that. I just don't
We
repeat.
love interacting.
Okay, bye. Okay, can you shush? Thanks. Mwah. Love you. Ciao.
Oh, that was supposed to be ciao. Ciao, babe.
Okay, bye, beauties.